Good morning, Christine. You're still muted.
Sorry, I don't know what was wrong. I was trying to log in through the computer. A couple people can't get the link, so I wanted to do this. So that's why I'm logging in, but let me just send this to Rosie.
Sure.
I'm gonna go back and mute myself. Karuna will be on in a second.
Okie doke.
Rosie, good, okay. I don't know, did you get the link yourself?
No, I did not get the link myself. I went in and then it said host was on a different meeting.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was saying to me. That's why I was wondering.
You know what, that was my bad because I was checking my camera because I'm teaching live.
So is it working? I don't know if it's working now, but you logged in under info ad and not Karuna, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, hopefully people in, but I'm gonna just log off now, okay? And I'll come back in a second, okay? Thanks. Leave.
Good morning.
I just saw you.
Hi. Hello.
And we're back to Romper Room. Tracy!
How are you?
I'm so good. It's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you. How are the babies?
They are so good. They are keeping me on my toes, as they say.
I see that you.
All right, so please find a way to start your practice as comfortable as possible. So laying down is a great option for what we're doing. Seated also a great option. Finding a way that you can sense this central channel from crown to base of spine. And begin to breathe in a way that allows you to gather yourself into that central channel, sometimes called the midline, a Sanskrit term of Sushumna Nadi, the auspicious channel. And in many distilled ways of talking about what yoga is, it's about getting our vessel of self aligned so that the central channel is clear and receptive to however you would define a higher power, love, healing, all of these attributes that point towards what yoga would teach us is our true identity. And the invitation here is to bring the awareness to the crown. And allowing yourself to open through the crown, relaxing skull bones, and putting out an openness to the furthest reaches of the universe. And allowing yourself to begin to soften the crown, just like you had a soft spot when you were born, and begin to welcome in a sense of protection, and a sense of welcoming in whatever for you is that true universal energy that feels safe, that feels healing. And begin to notice if you sense any shift into this central channel where the 7 main energy centers reside along the spine. And then to whatever degree you are able to, welcoming in a blessing from that source. And then whatever degree it's available, letting it become a waterfall of blessings. And then if you like, please bringing the hands to prayer a bit in front of the heart and throat so that as you're breathing, you can sense the exhale brushing the tops of the fingertips. And begin to notice if any sensations change on the fingertips or into the hands. And then continuing to sense how you can, I'll share the language that works for me. On inhale, do nothing, quote unquote, which means be receptive. And then exhaling, allowing yourself to sense this waterfall of blessings. And seeing where you can keep practicing this so that you experience yourself as a waterfall of blessings. And we'll see how this looks in practice as we dedicate our yoga practice to this self-healing of inhaling in a receptive way, exhaling, experiencing a waterfall of blessings. And so from here, let's start with some wrist stretches. So we'll have 10 breaths to work with each finger. So you can either stay on your back or come seated, extending out through the right arm, spreading across the bones in the wrist and taking a hold of the pinky finger. Inhale, finding that receptive quality from the corners of the universe, and then exhale, stretching back, reaching the heel of the hand towards the floor if you're seated, taking a hold of the fourth finger, noticing muscle and bone as it meets with energy, as we work with the subtle body, stretching it back, taking a hold of the middle finger. Inhale, filling all the way up. Exhale, stretching back. Inhaling, taking a hold of the index finger. Exhaling, stretching index finger back, separating the back teeth. And then taking the backs of the hands together, wrapping around the thumb, taking an inhale, receiving. Exhale, sensing the blessings that run from crown to heart through the hands. And then taking the opposite hand forward, just feeling here. So you have an external rotation of the upper arm and the lower arm. Taking a hold of the pinky finger, inhale. Exhale, stretch pinky finger back, reach the thumb away from the pinky finger, heel of the hand reaches towards the floor. Taking a hold of fourth finger, inhale. Exhaling, stretching fourth finger back. Taking a hold of index finger, inhale. Exhale, stretching it back. Take a hold of the index finger. Exhale, stretching index finger back. And then take the backs of the hands together, wrap around the thumb, and just whatever way you can do this. Deep breath in and then lengthening the thumb away from the joint, stretching it back, tracking the sensations, and then releasing there. Coming to your warrior two arms and just feeling into this gesture while we're still in a warming up posture, how this in and of itself is such a strong gesture of taking up space. And then begin to flex. And then from here, just playing with your range to warm up the forearms, the elbows, the wrists a bit more, and then we'll do the stretches that we often do. When you're ready, stay in the flexed position, reach the pinky finger away from the thumb, inhale, fill into the side ribs and back ribs, and then exhale, curling down one finger at a time, sensing that articulation, if it's easy, if it's hard, roll the fists down and then reach from the center of your heart. Inhale, spread the palms forward. You can keep a slight bend in the elbows or straighten the arms. Exhale, fold thumb in, squeeze, roll the pinky edge of the hand down. And then inhale, moving that waterfall of blessings through your crown. As you exhale, moving it through heart and hands, curling down one finger at a time. Rolling the fists down, continue to reach through your arm strength. Inhale, spread palms forward. Exhale, fold thumb in, give the thumb a squeeze, and then roll the pinky edge of the hand down. And then release, taking a moment here. And then from here, let's go ahead and come into a seated side bend. So you can extend out through the left leg, bring the right heel in towards the groin. And this is a pose that you might want to sit up on something. And then just like you got a hold of your thumb, get a hold of the thigh and see where you can coax out some space. Reach through the heel, spread through the toes. And then from there, grounding down through both sit bones, reaching the arms out, and then as you lift up, sensing washing through the central channel with the breaths coming into your side bend, plant the hand down, shoulder blade can move down, and then play around with little micro movements that help you get into your basic moves here. Inhale, finding that receptive quality, and then exhale, moving energy. And let's do some shoulder flossing here. So flipping the palm, sensing the arm moving through space. And then you can either stay here, arm hovering, or bring the hand to the low back. And then keep going at your own pace. Sensing how the opening invocation shifts where your awareness of your energy body is in the space that you're practicing in. Reaching through all the fingers. And then either keeping the hand hovering or behind the back, take a few moments to wash the breath into the neck, either holding your head or adjusting in any fashion that feels good for your neck. Continue to let the jaw go. And then helping your head back up, covering your ear, putting your head back up and switching the cross the lip, or switching the sides. Getting a hold of the thigh bone, coaxing out some space. Pointing and flexing, getting into the foot a bit more. And then from there, taking the hand out of the hip, outside the hip a few inches, shoulder and shoulder blade down, flipping the palm. Inhale, lifting up the ribs, making space through the central channel, and then pinky finger spins in, and then just playing with any micro movements. So you're inhaling, expanding ribs, exhaling, relaxing neck. And then when you're ready, coming into this way of moving your body in a way that is self-healing. As you come into your shoulder flossing, seeing if gentle movement like this is indeed unwinding for your nervous system. And then the next time the arm comes over and down, so you're in an internal rotation, either hovering the hand or bringing the hand behind the back, and either ear to shoulder or looking down if that feels better. Directing that self-healing energy into the base of the brain, calling in that universal energy into the places that need healing in the brain. And then from there, covering your ear, cradling your head to put it back up. And then we'll come into Baddha Konasana to set up the next pose, which will come into deer pose. Figure out my camera here. So rocking the weight onto the left hip and then taking the right heel back. So you may have the mobility to sit on both hips. I'm decidedly on one hip here. And then we'll come into, you can either come into another neck release by grabbing onto the right ankle, or you can hover the hand. Sometimes it doesn't feel useful, for some people it does. And take the left hand and then plant it onto the floor. And then either using the grab of the ankle or the calf as an extra neck release, or hover the hand. And then just sense into using this pose to get another positional therapy is another way I think about these poses for your hips. Reaching the arm up to set up for chest opener, so palm is facing forward, and then on exhale, moving the arm back behind the line of the torso till you feel an opening in the front of the shoulder, perhaps into the chest. It usually shows up one place first, could be arm or shoulder, could be chest. And then decide, does looking up feel useful? Sometimes that can have this uplifting energy. If it strains the neck, you can still look down and be opening the chest. Take any movements with the arm that adjusts and gets into the pecs a bit differently. Bring the arm in line with the torso and then down. Lift the ribs and then turn towards the left knee and fold for a few breaths. You can place your head on a prop if you like. And then from here, moving the shoulders down, and then sensing how these quieter poses are an opportunity to breathe into the back of the central channel. So the back side of the chakras. Noticing if you have any access to softening those energy centers into more receptivity. Take any movements with your face and your jaw that help you to let go. And then from there, take the heel of the hand to the crown of the head, massage into your brow point, relax the face, put your head back up. And then we'll come through Baddha Konasana to switch sides. So pressing the feet together, dynamically lift the ribs, and then pour the weight onto the right side, tucking the heel back. You can stay in Baddha Konasana if for some reason this doesn't feel good to your hips or any other position. And then come into grabbing onto the ankle or calf or hovering the hand. Anything that helps you to keep getting a sense of unraveling residue of tension in the neck and the jaw and the brain and the eyes. Taking any kind of yawn or jaw glide, lip slide, if you know that pose. Spread through the toes so you continue to anchor yourself into the lower body for support. And then from there, releasing the palm, bringing the arm about 45 degrees from the torso, inhaling. And then on exhale, slowly moving the arm back, like you're gonna catch something coming from the outer edge of the universe. Opening the front of chest, and then choose, maybe experiment with where's the most kind place to place your gaze. And then from there, feeling for bringing the arm back in line with the torso and then down, telescoping the ribs, turning toward the front knee and then folding, grabbing any prop underneath your head if you like. And then again, using the forward bend as a way to find out, can you connect into the back part of your energy centers? And then from there, take the heel of the hand, massaging into your brow point, putting your head back up. Come back into Baddha Konasana and take a few breaths here so you can assess what is happening with your relationship to this theme of inhale, do nothing, otherwise known as receive. And then exhale, letting energy circulation happen like a waterfall. And then from here, let's go ahead and come on to the back. We are going to do some core work that would be useful to have a rolled up object. So if you want to grab something like that, and you can also do it with intention if you don't have an object. Come into Ardha Shavasana, so feet underneath knees or a little bit forward. And then place your hands somewhere onto your torso that feels like it helps you connect. And then continue to sense crown all the way down through base of spine. And then from here, reaching the knees up over the hips, then we'll come into some dipping frog. So you can grab onto your object, could be anything, and use that to wake up the inner leg line. Arms can be wherever is comfortable. Inhale across the back bottom ribs, squeeze the block, the prop, and then tap the heels down and smoothly come right back up. Inhale here, broaden across back ribs and side ribs. Exhale, squeeze prop, tap heels down, come right back up using low abs. So we're targeting transverse abdominis. Inhale across back ribs and side ribs. Exhale, squeeze, tap down, come right back up. And let's do 3 more at your own pace. Inhaling, squeeze, smoothing it out. So you're going with core and not momentum. And then when you finish those 3, feet together, knees wide, or knees together, feet wide. And then from there, let's come into some elbow to tree. So if that does not serve you, you could come into working with low bridge, lifting up and down. So otherwise, interlace the hands behind the base of skull, knees over hips, outer edges of the feet parallel. Relax head into hands. Inhale across, back bottom ribs. Curl the tailbone up, and then on exhale, both elbows reach to the right, straightening through the left leg. Pull the low belly down, and then stage 2, the sole of the foot goes above or below the knee into tree pose. Press foot into leg, leg into foot, curl up a second time, and pull the low belly down. Inhale, bend both knees. Knees over hips, curl the tailbone up, and then on exhale, both elbows reach to the left, straighten through the right leg, low belly pulls in. If it's better for your back, you can reach straight up, or else the leg can be angled 45 degrees to the floor. Stage 2, foot to inner leg, press, curl up a second time, low belly pulls in. Inhale, coming back to center. Curl the tailbone up. If you like, sometimes squeezing the inner legs can help you get that lift. On exhale, both elbows reach right, straighten through left leg, low belly pulls in. Stage 2, foot to inner leg, press, curl up a second time, low belly pulls in. Inhale, back to center. Curl the tailbone up. On exhale, both elbows reach left, straighten through the right leg, low belly pulls in. Stage 2, foot is in tree pose, above or below the knee, press, curl up a second time, low belly pulls in. Let's go through one more. Inhale to center. Reach the knees straight up to the ceiling. And then on exhale, both elbows reach right, straighten through the left leg. Move the thigh bone away from the hip, low belly pulls in. Foot to inner leg, curl up a second time, low belly pulls in. Last side here, bend both knees. Curl the tailbone up. On exhale, both elbows reach left, straighten through the right leg, low belly pulls in. Foot to inner leg, curl up a second time, low belly pulls in. Head and chest comes down. And then take a moment to feel how you may have more access to different places in the lower part of the energy centers of the central channel. And letting that whole instrument of the central channel be washed with that healing energy. And now we'll all come into bridge as a pose. So if you like, feet could be right underneath knees or a little bit further. Arms can be relaxed by torso in any position you like in bridge. Inhale, cross back bottom ribs, and then slowly lifting up, sending the knees forward, finding out where you can move the shoulders away from the ears, and then use the kicking into the ground with the tripod of the foot, the heel, the base of the big toe, the pinky toe, coaching out space by sending the thigh bones forward, and then seeing where you can keep practicing this receptivity in every pose, in every breath on inhale. And then we'll do one round of Uddiyana, taking a very full breath in. Exhale everything out. When you're empty, keep the breath out. Pull the belly back, lower down through the spine. Relax internally, fill up with breath, and take a moment. Keep neck relaxed, roll onto one side. It's a good moment to take a sip of water if you need one. And then we will come into tabletop. Hips over knees, pressing the ground away. From here, we're going to come into dolphin with palms up. So elbows come right where the palms are. Measure by tapping the triceps and also practicing a little bilateral stimulation here. And then from there, bringing the palms facing up. Noticing what shows up in the shoulders here. Stretching the pinky away from the thumb, seeing where you can reach the thumb towards the ground. Press the ground away with the whole forearm, all the backs of the hands, everything you can make contact with. Relax the head, either looking right between the forearms or letting the head go completely, looking towards the navel. From here, any amount, sit the hips back. We're going to keep the knees down for today. And then continue to draw the front ribs towards the back ribs. And then I'll add in a few activations here, as if you were trying to stretch the yoga mat wide. Press, 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 stretch your mat wide, And then let that go. And then from there, keep sending the elbows towards the ground like you're trying to make a dent where your elbow is. And then keep pouring weight like you're trying to dent where the backs of your hands are, stretching. And then from there, letting that go, come back to your tabletop. From here, straighten the left leg back, place the ball of the foot on the ground. And then keep reaching as if you had a wall. If you do have a wall, you could kick into the wall there. And then from there, press into the top of the foot. So you're getting your plantar flexion. It's like a building block for arrow lunge here. Use the glutes, use the inner leg, use the front of the leg, use all 4 planes of the leg. And then we'll take that to the other side. Reach back like you're kicking a wall, or actually do use a wall to really light up your leg. Feel how the central channel responds when you are putting more and more foundational support onto it. Press into the top of the foot and then see where you can keep finding different activations of the 4 planes of the leg, inner leg, back line, outer line, front line. And then come on back. From here, we're going to come into downward facing dog. So from your tabletop, place one hand width forward, length forward, shoulders down. Press the ground away, curling toes under, lifting hips up and back. Taking any movements here that give you more awareness of your central channel, pulling energy in, receiving energy, and then exhaling, letting it move. Finding your way to your forward fold. And then in your forward fold, grabbing blocks or setting up any of the positions that we use. Interlacing hands behind the head. And then from there, go ahead and come up to stand in your Tadasana. Bringing the palms facing forward. Bringing hands to touch, and then again, taking your awareness into this central channel as we head into sun salutations. Inhale, lift ribs, reaching up, reach back, exhale, fold. Head relaxes, step the left leg back, coming into lunge. And then we'll revisit that pressing from the building block of arrow lunge, pressing into the top of the foot. And then keep that strong kicking the ground away, coming into brain cradling. Seeing where you can reach to the outer corners of the universe and then receive that healing energy right into the base of the brain. Elbow tips wrap forward and up. And then from there, step back into your plank. Holding your plank for a few breaths here. Press the ground away, knees up or knees down. Lowering all the way down. Finding that self-assist, reaching back through each leg and then coming into Cobra. Hands under shoulders, lengthening the central channel. Legs are solidly reaching back, lowering down. Come back into down dog. And then left leg is coming forward into lunge. Using your setup of your arrow lunge, press into the top of the back foot, strong reach, and then come on up. Do the opposite interlace of the first side. Lifting ribs, wrapping elbow tips forward, making space. Frame the front foot using blocks perhaps to step up. Coming up, either rounding up or with a flat back. See what feels better. Lift ribs, and then open chest and shoulders, receiving energy into the midline. Come right into the next round, sweeping up. Exhale, fold. This time, let's step back with the right leg. Press the ground away, reaching up, and we'll come into a side bend here. Hold on to the left hip. Telescope ribs, reach up and over into your side bend, and then keep the left hip tracking down and under. And then take some movements here, circling around with the arm in any fashion that keeps connecting heart, arm, and fingertips so that that cosmic energy, healing energy is moving through everything you touch. Come back up, step back into plank. High quality transition, engaging and lengthening the core. Reach back through both legs. Letting length be the priority as you come up into your cobra. Use the glutes, the lower glutes and the hamstrings. Press back into your down dog. Right leg steps forward into lunge. Kick into the top of the back foot, sweep up. Telescoping ribs. And then hold on to the right hip. Reach up and over into your side bend. And then feel into everything you can contact in the side body. And then begin to play with the arm. What else helps you to connect the arm as a lever into the torso? And then from there, frame the front foot, step up using your core, flat back or rounding up. And then opening chest and shoulders, hands come to touch. Take a feeling breath. Come into chair pose. So either feet at hips with distance, or you could take the big toes together, inner legs closer. Frontal hip points as far back to the ankle, over the ankles as you can. First, bring yourself parallel to the floor. Get weighted into the heels. Lift the toes, let them come back down, and then come on up. You can keep the arms in a traditional Utkatasana or change it up to free up your energy. Straighten legs and step back, plank. Lowering down, let's do some boat pose. Reach back through each leg. And then do that self-assist. Roll the inner thighs to the ceiling, lifting legs, lifting shoulders, lifting chest, hovering the hands. Squeezing shoulder blades, sending shoulder blades towards the feet. Take a few more breaths here. And release. Coming through your table and then into your down dog. Let's come into warrior one. Left leg is stepping forward. The foot in the back is turned to the outer edge of the mat, either 45 degrees, 60 degrees, or you can come onto the ball of the back foot. I prefer this variation, so I'm going to do that. From here, lift the pubic bone and then come into bird wing. So palms stretch open. Finding this quality of receptivity in this palm facing up gesture. And then feel how the legs start cooking, and that can give yourself breath support, receiving that energy from the big muscles of the foundation. And then playing with inhaling, exhaling, forearms come out, elbows tweeze in, shoulders and shoulder blades contract down the back. Let's do two more there. Inhale, exhale, squeeze and drag down. One more. Squeeze as the arms come out and drag shoulders down, shoulder blades down, and then come back to brain cradling. See if you can sense the activation from the bird wing into shoulders and heart and lungs, front of heart, back of heart. And then from there, come on up. Reset to a straight right leg. Get your blocks or something to bring the floor up to you. Kick through that back leg and then square the hips. From there, find your wings, palms face the floor, and then give your left leg a hug. Kick through both legs, and then peel the front ribs towards the back ribs. Like you're pulling away from the leg, but the bind is keeping you there. And then let that go, vertical splits. Hop the back foot in, straighten the left leg. Either look towards your navel, if that's too much weight, look towards the floor. Lift the right leg. Move the shoulders away from your ears. And then play with internal rotation, external rotation of that lifted leg. Keep breathing. And then when you're ready, reach that leg back, place the foot down. Either take yourself through a vinyasa, plank and cobra or upward facing dog, or come right back into down dog. Give yourself a few breaths here, inhaling, receiving, exhaling, moving energy. And then come into warrior one on the other side. Right leg comes forward. Either come into classical warrior one, point the toes to the outer edge of the mat, or shift onto the ball of the back foot. Once you decide, find that quality of front hip point and back hip point on the same plane, pubic bone and front hip point on the same plane, and then come on up. Bird wing. Bring the palms facing up. Big breath in, exhale, forearms come out, elbows tweeze in, shoulders and shoulder blades move down. Doing 2 more there, inhale to stage 1. Exhale, forearms tweeze. Forearms move out, elbows tweeze in, shoulders and shoulder blades drag down. 1 more, inhale. Exhale, squeeze and drag down. And then come forward, let the arms relax, maybe give them a shake. And then switch up the interlace of the other side, brain cradling. Lifting up through the core, coming into whatever degree of a back bend is appropriate for your spine and serves the intent of receiving grace, a waterfall of blessings. And then from there, bring torso up, reset to a straight left leg. Kick through that back leg, tuck the right hip back and under. Arms come into airplane to start, and then wrap around the thigh. Curl the pubic bone towards the navel. Pull the front ribs towards the back ribs. Give yourself breath support. And then from there, release, hop the back foot in for vertical split. Lift the left leg and then play with these micro movements. Shoulders move away from ears to make more space. You can play with dialing the baby toe towards the ground, internal rotation, opening the hip up, external rotation. Move the thigh bone away from the hip. Letting the heat from all of these yang poses create a healing, viscous quality through the central channel to create more softening where it's needed. Use your exhales to move out what's melting down. Lengthen the left leg back, and we'll come through one more version of Shalabhasana. Coming through your transition to the floor. Lift each leg and reach it back. Press into the tops of the feet like arrow lunge. And then from there, let's come into hands at tented fingertips. Inhale, telescope the ribs forward. Exhale, look underneath the left arm, roll the right shoulder. And then check it out. Are your feet making strong contact with the floor? And then keep taking it side to side. When you are ready, release, come into crocodile, laying with forearms and palms flat, or making a pillow, either having your forehead to the ground or head turned, whatever creates the most receptivity. And then allow the central channel to be bathed in earth energy here, receiving the grace of our home, the earth. Exhaling a waterfall of blessings. From here, hands under shoulders, press back into downward facing dog. And then please step up to Tadasana. We're going to come into horse stance. Stepping wide on your mat. So a general rule of thumb is shoulders over wrists, and you can make it narrower if that's better for your body. Turn the toes out and then come on down. Feeling for that softening of front ribs in, breathing in a way that receives, exhaling, running energy through the central channel. And then from here, we'll come into some kite hawk in horse stance. So reach through both arms. Inhale, palms up, shoulders down, chest open, and then exhale, roll the arms forward, slide the shoulder blades up the back, and then finding a way of flexing the spine, rounding forward, and then keep going between those two possibilities. Making it smaller or bigger, depending on what feels like it keeps you in that receptive state. And then the next time you come to palms up and arms down, straighten the legs, let the arms come down, take a feeling breath, receiving the heat that you get from that. And then from there, we'll come into letting the arms come out, softly gathering energy, earth energy, pulling energy up through the central channel. Like, sort of like letting the arms be like fabric, softly releasing down, pulling up through the midline, going over the crown, reaching out and down. And also bringing awareness to the back body, opening through the back of the chakras as you're working here. And then the next time you pull up with straight legs, let the arms flow down, keep legs straight. Take a feeling breath. And then from there, let's come into twisting horse. So for today, we'll flow at your own pace, hands onto the quads. You could slide the hand into the inner leg as you come side to side. Teasing out space in the hip and low back. Lengthening the ribs away from the hips to keep lengthening the spine. And then from there, straighten legs, sweep. We're going to take it into a twist. So coming through the midline, reset the toes facing forward, activate the feet and legs. You might want to have a block or blocks. Come into a forward fold. Inhale, extend the spine forward, and then plant the hand on a block right in front of the sternum. Take your opposite hand, I'm going to mirror you guys. So left hand onto your prop, right hand to low back. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, keep the pelvis as square as you can, open into your twist. Feel forward, opening into the thoracic spine. Keep the hand on the pelvis or reach the arm up, see what feels better. lowering the lifted arm, plant the hand onto the block. Take the opposite hand into the sacrum, feeling for this extraordinary piece of architecture of your spine. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Notice if the hips want to come with you, reset them. Either keep the hand on the sacrum or reach the opposite arm up. Feel for moving the left shoulder blade toward the ceiling. And then release the arm down, coming into a forward bend. Keep using your legs as you let the forward fold help you find more softness through the front and the back of the central channel. And then at your own pace, take a few walks side to side, opening into the side body. Working quite intuitively here, letting the energy body and intuitive body lead. And then coming back to center, taking a few breaths here. Holding on to the hips, coming up to stand. Heel toe the feet back together. Then in your Tadasana, begin to get a sense of crown to base of spine, and start swinging arms like ropes. You can flick the fingers to clear out congestion in the acupressure points of the hands, and then really get a sense of mobilizing the shoulder blades as you do that, swinging back, and until you get some momentum, so it almost becomes effortless. So you are moving on momentum here. Fluttering the lips, taking any clearing breaths here. And then from there, coming side to side, perhaps tapping some place in the back body that you have access to keep waking up your awareness of the back body. And then coming back to center, letting the armpits be open. Big breath in, exhaling out. The next pose is forward bend at the wall. I apologize, I did not let you guys know that we would be working at the wall. So if the wall is not easily available, you can do this without. I'd say everyone in this class has done this. I usually start about 16 inches away from the wall and then come into forward bend. So you're using the wall as a practice of giving weight over. You might grab blocks for underneath your hands. Using this as a way to study what is your relationship to giving weight over, trusting that this support is going to hold you. Using the contact with the wall in your forward bend to breathe into the back side of the chakras. And then from there, coming away from the wall, coming up slowly, using the wall for support if you get a little dizzy in those types of transitions. And come on down to your back for Shavasana. Setting up a nurturing shape for you. And at this point, letting any efforting go, practicing the very advanced pose of doing nothing, receiving, uptaking, and softening is the most conducive quality for that. So whatever level you're able to do that, let that be enough. Beginning to bring your awareness to your body in this vertical axis. Coming back to your awareness of your basic goodness. Receiving from the furthest corners of the universe and exhaling, letting a waterfall of blessings wash through you, recognizing that you are also that. And imagining how the rest of your day will look with being steeped in that awareness. As you're ready, coming onto one side, taking yourself back up to a vertical axis, joining with, I can confidently say, a group of other waterfalls of blessings from personal experience. And if you like, bringing the hands to touch in a way that you can sense the exhale brushing across your fingertips. Have an awesome day. Thank you for sharing your blessings with us all.